Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. This is going to be a quick flip through of this completed journal. And because there aren't enough hours in the day, I'm doing this in the evening. Got all kinds of lights on here. And in case, there are shadows or anything, can we just agree to call it mood lighting? Yeah, that would really help me. Anyway, let's get to it. This journal is teal in color, and I love it. I think that the jumping off point was some sort of an ornament kit or something. I don't know if it was Martha Stewart or Stampin' Up or something. One of those thrifted items that you get and you think, okay, now what? So that was the initial impetus. And then, of course, when you start looking for a certain color, you find it elsewhere. So I think I stayed true to the color scheme here. This journal is made of 2 envelopes. Now, these envelopes were from one of those build your own wedding invitation kits. Oh, this is gold-edged organza ribbon, just as a closure. So on the cover, I have used a piece of some sort of textural paper, which is a fairly dark teal, some washi tape, a bit of cotton ribbon, a fabric, half of a fabric tab, plastic, snowflake, a fancy button. This might have been, I think this was packaging from a rubber stamp. And there is a die cut Christmas tree underneath it all. Now, because of all the fiddly little edges and so on, I thought I should try to hold it all together by using this teal tool. I think that covers that. So, excuse me. As I said, it's 2 envelopes, and I've just tucked the flaps into each other, which doesn't make for a very wide spine. But I still managed to get 17 pages, which of course would be 68 surfaces. In here, I've tucked my message from a journal maker. I had a scrap of this teal lace, and just to make it easier to get things in and out, I've backed that onto some cardstock. A book plate that a person can use to fill, put their name on, as well as, this was part of that ornament kit. So I just added some cotton thread. This is a piece of cardstock. This is part of a Christmas card. These various items that you'll see kind of in this color scheme and style all were thrifted, I guess essentially stickers for the most part. Anyway, I've also backed a piece of a coloring book page to make a card here. Used a doily to make a pocket, more of the coloring book with some teal and gold washi, and another one of those little die cuts. Now I can't remember why I had this paper, but there are several of these smaller sized sheets of scrapbooking paper. I don't think they were part of that ornament kit that I mentioned. This is another fabric tie. These little odds and ends, I basically just, stuck them down throughout the journal to create continuity. This is half of an envelope, the back or front of an envelope, can't remember. Some scrap paper. And I used an idea I saw on Kim Newberg's channel, which was just to use several pieces of adding machine tape. It's, pretty well a perfect size for most of our uses. If it's a bit aged, so much the better. And this was just also out of that ornament kit or crafting kit that I thrifted. An ampersand symbol, again, it kind of flows. This is a fabric tab, Dream. More of that paper, a wee bit of a little flip here. This is a bit of fabric tulle and the ribbon you've seen before. A planner page that kind of worked color-wise. Some coffee dyed or tea dyed blue paper. Another fabric sticker. This page came out of one of those, and for lack of a better description, I call them Where's Waldo. So many items, big kids book, many items on a list of objects to find. So, of course, the colors work perfectly here. Here's a pocket. I guess I should maybe find something to put in it, or I can just leave it as is. I'm not sure. Another piece of cardstock. Another part of that planning thing. The other half of that envelope. So I've made, this was also part of that Christmas card. The sheep that didn't make the cut became a little journaling card. I've used, again, the little doohickey, and that is a technical term, for the little tab at the top. So between these yellow tones and the gold, I think it kind of flows. Now this was, I made this little tab just out of a, you know how in those wedding kits you get, the invitation, the envelope, the reply card, so there were these little birds, and I just cut them out using my oval punch and turned it into a tab. This was just some nice paper. Of course, the way I folded it originally, it was too wide, so then I had to make this fancy dancy thing here. This is a new, I made this using a new embossing folder. Not even a brand name on it. $3, I think. Anyway, I had a piece of this teal, and it's beautiful. Another one of those tags. One of these bracket things. This is interesting. Not even sure what kind of paper it is, to be honest. This is what one side looks like. It almost looks like a, fancy plaid. This is what the other side looks like. So I thought that was kind of cool. And rather than cut this off or do something, discard part of it, I just turned it back so that there'd be this tiny little tuck spot here. Oh, and I can see a hole there. This came out of this pad was punched with 3 holes. So I just folded this over and glued it to give it a little more stability. I used Canadian Christmas stamp, another tag or sticker from that thing I've mentioned a dozen times already. Another part of that. And then I really loved this bird because, again, the colors I thought worked perfectly. And because it seemed like a bit of much negative space here, I just used another one of those fabric. No, this one isn't fabric. It's just a sticker that kind of seemed to work. Added a couple of beads to this string. Now this would have been waxed linen thread. Left this blank other than adding some fibers here. I have to say this cord was not easy to work with. Oh, and I should trim that. Typically what I do I have some fine... With these woven cords, the minute you cut them, they begin unraveling. Much like the Creator. Anyway, So I always tie a knot, or well, usually a double knot, because sometimes they like to work themselves loose. And then just to avoid this white cord that gives it its shape and stability, I typically try to remove it, but let's see if I can do that without cutting any of the gold off. Typically it works better than how this seems to be going. And maybe I'll do the rest after you're gone. I did this side no problem, and it's kind of cute the way it splays out. But yeah, I missed that one. And this is just, excuse me, more of that Where's Waldo type stuff, and just some washi for a splash of color there, because that looked a bit lost there by itself. Again, more of the same paper you've seen. I also, you know, sometimes when you buy thrifted coloring books, some little angel, shall we say, colored or scribbled over some of them. And of course, it kind of ruins the back side of whatever it is you're using for our purposes. So I wanted to salvage the pieces because I thought they were cute. So I fussy cut it and backed it. A couple more used Christmas stamps or canceled Christmas stamps. Added another bit of that just for that little splash of color. And again, it helps reinforce the edge of that pocket. That came out of the same thing you've seen. This was a die, the same one that I've used on the cover. Well, no, obviously not the same. This is a tree. This is an ornament. Aren't you glad you tuned in? Same paper is what I'm trying to say. Another fabric tab. Used a bit of that paper for to make a little tab on this card. Excuse me, I'm so sorry about this voice. Second or third video today. We'll keep going. I thought I needed to use that, so I put it there. Another tag. This is the sort of thing where you would, you know, sort of instructions for how to use the book. This is not a pocket, it's just a bit of color. I doubled up these things. Now, I'm not quite sure what they're called. I guess they're like oversized reinforcers, whatever. Now, I had strips of this paper, which is this paper. So I thought, okay, I don't want to throw them out. So I just made sort of a, if a normal thing is a belly band, perhaps these are suspenders. And more of these little guys to journal on. This is the back of that envelope, or I guess a second envelope. Another little paper pad. And here is just more more goodies. More goodies tucked into this doily pocket here. And then finally the back cover, another piece of the teal Swiss dot embossed paper, a couple more free range ornaments, another teal pocket. And back here is another, oh, this is the tree design. This is a new thrifted embossing folder. There's no name on this one either. So this is just white cardstock, and then this is more of the same paper. Without realizing what I was doing, I debossed it. Now, I forgot to put anything at the back, because of course when you construct a journal this way with just inserting flaps into each other, you end up with this outside flap. So all I did, and there are those two little birds again. All I did was I ran a bead of glue this way. So in essence, I've created a pocket here and a pocket here. So clearly I need to add a couple more things. So that, my lovelies, is this journal. I have listed it. No, I haven't listed it yet. I will be listing it momentarily in the Traveling Crafters Makers Market. And if you were to just, I'll put that in the description box, but if you just wanted to Google it to check it out, you could type in, the www.district.net/traveler or makers market. So we'll get this all straight. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful day, morning, evening, night, wherever you in the world you are. And yes, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.